Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to learn about ecosystem. An ecosystem is a basic functional ecological unit. It consists of both biotic and abiotic component. An ecosystem is sum of total living organism, the environmental process of the interaction between and within all part of the ecosystems. The word ecosystem was first coined by A.G. Tansley in 1935. This term is derived from two words, namely eco and system. Eco refers to environment and system refers to a complex coordinated unit. Next we are going to learn structure of an ecosystem. The structure of an ecosystem can be split into main components, namely biotic and abiotic component. Biotic means the biotic factors including the living organisms of the environment. Examples plants, animals, bacteria, viruses, etc. The biotic factors of an ecosystem depend on the biotic factors of their survival. The biotic factor of an ecosystem is classified into the three main groups, namely producer, consumer, and decomposer. The next we are going to learn abiotic components. So abiotic component factors of an ecosystem including the non-living substances of the environment. Examples water, soil, air, light, temperature, minerals, climate, pressures, etc. So next we are going to learn biotic components. The biotic components divided into three parts. One is a producer, another one is a consumer, third one is a decomposer. The producer means the organism which carry out photosynthesis constitute the producer of an ecosystem. Example plant and animals. Consumer. So consumer are heterotroph organisms that depend on other organisms for food. All animals are consumer. The consumer are further divided into the three more types. They are primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. Primary consumer, they eat the producer like plants, algae, and bacteria. The primary consumer are also called herbivores. Next we are going to learn secondary consumer. Secondary consumer depend on primary consumer for energy. They can either be carnivorous or omnivorous. Examples fox, wolf, etc. Next we are going to learn tertiary consumer. They kill and eat the secondary consumer. They are called secondary carnivores. Examples lion, tiger, etc. The next one is a decomposer. The decomposer are organisms that break up the dead bodies of the plants and their waste product. They including bacteria and fungus. They secrete enzymes which digest the dead organisms and the debris in a small bits of molecules. These molecules are absorbed by the reducer. After taking energy, the reducer or release molecules to the environment as chemicals to be used again by the producer. Next we are going to learn what are the function of ecosystem. The function of the ecosystem are as following. It regulated the essential ecological process, support life system and returns stability. The next one is it is also responsible for the cycling of nutrition between biotic and abiotic component. The third one is it maintains a balance among the various tropical level in the ecosystem. Then fourth one, it cycles the minerals through the biosphere. Next we are going to learn types of the ecosystem. The ecosystems are different at types. One is in forest ecosystem, and then grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, and marine ecosystem. So today we are going to learn aquatic ecosystems. So aquatic ecosystem, a presence in a body of water. This can be further divided into a freshwater ecosystem, marine ecosystem, the freshwater ecosystem means it is a lendic standing freshwater ecosystem. It contains shallow standing water. The pond ecosystem is formed by biotic factors and the abiotic factors. The biotic factors means the pond ecosystems are water, carbon dioxide, O2, inorganic compounds and organic compounds, light, temperature, pressure, pH, etc. And then biotic factors of the pond ecosystem are plants and animals. They are producer, consumer, and reducer or decomposer. The producer synthesizes the food from abiotic substances. They carry out the photosynthesis. The producer of pond ecosystems including all the phytoplankton. Phytoplankton means a smallest plant species including diatoms, blue-green algae, Asletoria, green algae, volvox, euglena, chlamydomonas, rooted plants and submerged plants and floating plants, etc. Then consumer means eat others organism. The organisms which depend on producer are called primary consumer or herbivorous. Examples: zooplankton, insects, and larvae. The primary consumer are eaten by the secondary consumer or carnivorous. This carnivorous is also called primary carnivorous. The secondary consumer are eaten by the tertiary consumer or secondary carnivorous. The next we are going to learn reducer or decomposer. The reducer means organisms that break up the dead bodies of other organisms and their waste product. They including all the microbes like bacteria, fungi, etc. Next we are going to learn important concepts of ecological. The next first one is a food chain. The food chain means the sequences of eaters being eaten, that is known as food chain. The biotic factors of the ecosystem are linked together by food. For examples, the producer from the food for the herbivorous, which form of the food the carnivorous. The food chain are two types, namely grazing food chain and deciduous food chain. Grazing food chain means this food chain started from the plants, go through herbivorous and end in carnivorous. This type of food chains depend on the autotrophs, which capture the energy from their solar radiations. The next one is here predator food chains. Predator food chain means one animal capture and devours another animals. The animals which is called prey and animals which eat other animals is also known as predator. Then third one is a parasite food chain. The plant and animal of the grazed food chain are infected by the parasites. The parasites derive their energy for their host. That is known as a parasite food chain. Next we are going to learn food web. Food web means in an ecosystem the various food chains are interconnections with each other to form of network is known as food web. The interlocking of many food chains is known as food web. For the examples, grass, grasshopper, lizard and hawk. What are the significance of the food chains? Are very important in maintaining the stability of an ecosystem. For examples, when one type of herbivorous animals exist, the carnivorous predating on the type may eat another type of herbivorous. Thank you.